Good evening, folks, and welcome along to round number 9 of the virtual Racing Aotearoa Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series here on TrackSpotTV. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Wright, looking to bring you all of the action from this evening's round. Of course, the first round of the chase. The regular season was decided last year. It was last week, slightly ahead of myself. It was Xavier Simmons who brought home the top spot, so he's been gifted 1,050 points for the reset for the season. As you can see, the standings at the end of was 349 points for Simmons, ahead of ranking by only 13 points. That gap will now extend out to 25, of course, for the chase. McLean, Dilworth, Millens, Mertens, Harding, Guptill, Stanley, Warrington, Howard, Brett, Gregory, Crossan, Stove, Leverage, Watkins, all making it in. Waddell made it into the top 16. Terry, Leverage, Watkins, he will lead the chase tier 2 standings himself. Tiers James, all the way down to Altius. So 32 drivers registered in the overall chase. But of course, Tier 1 is going to be led off by Xavier Simmons. He'll have a 25-point lead over the rest of the field. And we do have our starting grid. We've got Logan Howard on the front row with Scott Rankin in second, Hayden Millings in third, with Bryce Harding joining him. On row 2, Xavier Simmons is going to start in fifth, with Hayden Guptill alongside him. In sixth place, Corey Crossan and Josh Mertens in seventh and eighth. Ian Gregory in ninth, and Alec Inslee in 10th place. Ethan Cale is going to start in 11th, with Stephen Tiers in 12th place. It's then going to be Sam Waddell in 13th and Hayden Warrington in 14th. Brock Mackney in 15th position. Let me see, Brock Mackney. Then, Terry Leverage, Watkins, Jamie Harding, Luke Dilworth, and Willie McLean. In 19th place, Brady Stanley and Terry Leverage Watkins, bringing up the rear of the field. Of course, starting at the back in a NASCAR race, it's not always the worst thing. As we have seen so far this season, and in many NASCAR races so far. We're likely to see that again today. Sorry, bear with me one moment, folks. Just need to adjust my microphone. Apologies, there we go. We're here, of course, for Kansas Speedway, to 1.5, exactly 1.5 miles of track. Of course, built back in 2001, one of the youngest NASCAR tracks in use today. Only just hitting 25 years old. Established by the International Speedway Corporation to get some new oval venues in the Midwest, and it has been an exceptionally popular one since its inception. Of course, they added the road course excuse me, in 2012. But here we go, it's the green flags, and we are foot down and flat out. It is Rankin with a good start, but it looks like Howard, not such a great start there. He really seems to be lagging behind. It looks like Bryce Harding is going to have no choice but to go around the outside there. The Simblac's car on the inside really didn't get a good start. Hayden Millings slightly slow out the gates as well, by the look of it. Oh no, he seems to be coming back now. Not many changes down the field, although Willie McLean absolutely rocketing from the back of the grid. He's already got himself up to 15th place. We've got Scott Rankin, who has got himself into the lead, and Logan Howard. He's down 2 on where he started. Wow, here we go. Already got 3-4 wide action here. Kansas really is an absolute treat for the fans. I'll tell you what, the banking not overly severe, so you really can run on those tyres all that you want. Oh, here we go. Lots of chopping and changing here just outside. Just inside the top 10. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag already. Wow. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, looks like it might be Stephen Tiers or Hayden Guptill. One of the two. We'll see which one it was, but certainly Stephen Tiers right down at the back of the grid. The 717, or the 171 as it's showing. Sorry, that's Jamie Harding. My apologies, that is Jamie Harding. He is back down in 20th position. So I think he might have been involved in that as well. So yeah, early incident for the drivers to deal with. We'll see if we can get a replay of what's going on. There is the safety car coming out. Now, does anyone come into the pits this early? Other than getting damage repaired, are we going to see anyone come in? I'm not sure we will. It's a long race today. And we'll have to see. Oh, here we go. So yeah, Stefan here. Oh, down on the back. Oh, wow. Yep, that is a bit of a clumsy rejoin there. Bounces up from the inside. And it was indeed Piers who took full brunt of that there. As yeah, quite a few of the cars are coming in. So yeah, no surprise that Tears is coming in, to be fair. That was a monster kick off the wall. But coming in, who's that? Alex Inslee, Sam Waddell, Brock McNee, Hayden Gupta's coming. Brady Standley joining Stefan Tears in that in the comedy box, in the pit box, with Scott Rankin now looking at the back of the safety car, and that is an early one. That's the earliest one we've seen so far this season here at VRA. We'll see if that is a marker for the rest of the race. It is very easy. This is one of these courses where the drivers are borderline flat out for the entirety of the lap. So it's going to make it, yeah, a very fun race indeed. So we'll see, let's see, everyone's back out the pits. Tears is still in there with no fast repair. He might be in there for a considerable amount of time, unfortunately. Getting that repaired. Alex Inslee is still in there. Gupta, McNee and Brady Standley have all made it back out of the pits. So we'll see how they get back on, and yet there's more cars coming back out. And I tell you what, actually, that is Tears back out, 51 seconds, so that pit stop nowhere near as long as I thought it was going to be, thankfully. So he will get back out and join the rest of the field pretty quickly. He's going to be a lap down, but a lucky dog here or there, and you could be right back in the hunt. The drivers are back into double file, which means we are off and racing again very shortly. We'll see how much running we get done this time around. Oh, yep. So we'll see how far we get this time. It's going to be Rankin and Harding that are going to lead us away in the front row. Pole sitter Logan Howard looks like he's back yet in third place. So we'll see what he can do from there. Luke Dilworth, as you expect, started from down near the back of the grid. He's already up 6 places. So too is Hayden Warrington. Willie McClune started in 19th. He's already up to 10th as the safety car pulls in. We are almost ready to go once again. So let's see. There is the green flag being waved. Goes 125 laps in total. We've got stage 1 to go first, and it's stage 1 that is being run at the moment, and it's Rankin, who's doing very well out there, with Harding in 2nd place, Logan Howard and Hayden Millings trying to hang on. But I tell you what, they're already getting swamped by Simmons, Gregory and Warrington. No real surprise, I see Xavier Simmons looking very quick indeed. Of course, he is leading the way for tier 1 here in the chase. Love those camera angles. There's Rankin out in the lead. There is Harding, and there is Simmons. Can he get himself an overtake? Because I tell you what, he's got a lot of cars coming in, a lot of cars using that bottom. No regulation against that, of course. You can go behind them below the white line. It doesn't behoove you to do so, though, because if you do, I tell you what, that is very close indeed. They've all squeezed. If you do go below the white line and you don't manage to rejoin correctly, it really can be catastrophic, as we've already seen for a couple of the drivers. I can't confirm they are still running. Still some changing in the middle of the field. Oh, Simmons there, almost taking a bit of a tap on the rear. Decides to back right out of that one. That's Harding that he is battling with at the moment. Harding dropping down the order. He's gained the position. He's now got Luke Dilworth just behind him as well. So he's got Dilworth and Simmons. Dilworth has absolutely flown through the field, and in fact he has gone past... Oh no, he's not gone past Willie McClune. Sorry, Willie McClune is up in the 2nd place. We'll jump on board with Dilworth, because Willie McLean, while I was looking down the telemetry, he has shot up the telemetry. McLean up into second place, so a very, very, very good start from him. Dilworth looking to mirror that start if he can get himself up into the top 5 as well. He's currently looking very quick indeed, absolutely planning. It's insane how quick he looks at Dilworth down to the bottom line. Rankin and McLean leading the way, and in fact Rankin has just got himself past, so he's made his way through the field and he's got himself out of the overall lead of the race. Simmons now up to 3rd place. So we've got a car once again down below the white line. They do like to make it interesting for themselves, and that's going to be a fun one. Oh, and there's a yellow flag. That's a big hit. Oh no, there we go. And that is how easily it can go very, very, very wrong. That is another yellow flag. That is another white line cross, and that has been 4 or 5 cars there that have been absolutely wiped. Let me see. Oh, I think Stefan Tiers might have been caught up in that again. Josh Mertens and Ethan Kale, I think, look like they've been caught out in that one. Yeah, Ethan Kale. Oh, yeah. A little bit of door banging, a whole lot of wall banging, couple of cars. The tail end of Kale's car just catching an innocent bystander on the way past, doing just enough to unsettle him and send him spinning. And that is an unfortunate. Oh yeah, there you can see he was already unsettled, so there was a minor side-on touch and then quite a major side-on touch there for Kale, and that finds him spinning and stationary. You can see cars left, right and centre as more compiling into the pitch. It's going to be Corey Crossan, Sam Waddell, Brady Stanley, Alex Endley back in the pitch. So too is Stefan Tiers. Stefan Tiers is in, Ethan Kale's in, Brady Stanley's on his way back out, Terry Leverage Watkins on his way into the pits as well. So another half a dozen drivers making their way in. Quite a few now on 2 stops already. Here we go up in the front then. Willie McLean, what a start to the race. He will be absolutely delighted with this one. He's currently 3rd in his tier for the chase. Of course, tier 1 he is in, so he will be very happy to be out leading. Of course, long way to go before he actually gets any points, but this is a good place to start as the safety car coming in? Oh no, even the safety car goes below the white line here. And then comes back out again. So yeah, the safety car just showing off a bit like, yep, I can get below the white line and back on safely. Here comes the drivers into double file now. Looks like, yeah, Waddell, Mertens and Leverage Watkins is still in the pit. So we'll see to get back on. A few cars trying to catch up to the back, but yeah, this is going to put a couple of drivers a lap down, or a couple of more drivers a lap down, sorry. I wonder if anyone managed to get the lucky dog while we were under that safety car, because there was quite a few cars coming at the pits. Oops. So they might have forgone their chance to get that lucky dog. We will see how the running goes, but certainly McLean up at the front. He's got Simmons, Howard, Dilworth directly behind him as well. That is quite the murderer's row of drivers he's got behind him. So there will be hot, fiercely contested competition for this one. And here comes the green flag once again. He's going to give that a wave. There we go, and we are off and running, and it is a good start by McLoone and Simmons there. Scott Rankin looked like he lagged ever so slightly, didn't quite get out of the gates there, and certainly that is Simmons and McLoone taking that top line there ahead of Rankin. Bryce Harding staying on the bottom line. He's got Luke Dilworth along there, a few cars back, and Hayden Guptill in there as well to help him out. 14 laps in to stage number 1. Was they absolutely tear past. We've still got Terry Leverage-Watkins in the pits. He might well be out of the race. He's been stationary for almost 3 minutes. And he is the leader of Tier 2, so he will definitely want to be coming out and getting some points here today. Yeah, keep hold of his spot up at the top. Willie McLoone definitely keeping hold of his spot up at the top. We've got a solid battle going on here with Luke Dilworth. He's got a few cars around him here. He's on this bottom line, and I tell you what, that's Guptill in the 91 closing the distance very quickly there indeed. He had all the momentum in the world. Let's see if he can use that and convert that into a couple of positions. McLoone and Simmons absolutely solid out at the front. Rankin doing well to hang on to them, but we're keeping an eye on this battle just outside the top 5 with Dilworth and Guptill. And Warrington, in fact, getting himself involved as well. Hayden Warrington and Hayden Guptill going side by side and nose to tail to try and get themselves past Dilworth if they can. Very quick lap times coming in already. McLoone with a 30.8, the only driver to go sub 31 seconds so far on his lap time. Oh, and that's a big tongue slapper there. How was he held on to that? Hayden Warrington with an absolute save of the century there. Luke Dilworth, he's ended up behind him and boxed in a bit, and Hayden Guptill is going to say thank you very much indeed. A very reactionary overtake there. It was laid on a plate for him, and he absolutely was not about to turn that one down. Guptill getting the job done on Warrington as well. Yep, there we go. And Dilworth has got a bit of work to do to catch back up to this group, but that was a very good save by Warrington there. And I tell you what, oh, the back of that car not looking clever at all. And I tell you what, Dilworth in the background, the back of his car attempting to step out as well. And I say, yeah, not as severe the banking around here, so it's not quite as brutal on the tire. I tell you what, Guptill almost taking the nose off him there, does manage to survive very close here, just inside the top 10. We've got Warrington, Dilworth and Matney involved. Gregory also involved in this battle as well. McLoone and Simmons are still looking very solid at the front with Rankin and Howard joining them. There's a gap from 6th down to 7th at the moment, and I tell you what, look at that on the inside line there. That is a very good run indeed, taking positions left, right and centre. Oh, I tell you what, somebody's got to block him off to try and stop that run. Oh, we've got somebody on the below the white line again, and yep, they've all made it back on. Simbalak's livery looking absolutely phenomenal. There's Ethan Cale. Yeah, Ethan Cale, absolutely man on a mission. Up at the front, Xavier Simmons, he will be a man on a mission as well. Of course, he brings a 25-point lead into this round, or starts the chase with him, a 25-point lead over the rest of the field. We're going to see a nice cheeky 3 wide for the race lead. McLoone, Rankin and Simmons. We're already 21 laps in. Yeah, 30 seconds a lap time. It certainly does fly around this course, and it is flying at the hands of McLoone, Simmons and Rankin up at the front. Looking at some of the gaps down the field, it does look like we're seeing a bit of an opening in the top 10. So we'll see how they go. And apologies, folks. Staying well hydrated today, just to make sure the medication goes. The drivers, I'm sitting here worried about being hydrated. The drivers will be sweating absolute bullets some of the positions around, and with some of the yellow flags that we've seen so far. They happen very fast here in Kansas. We may be in Kansas, Toto, but it doesn't mean it's any safer. McLean and Simmons doing very well up at the front of the field. We've got Simmons, Rankin and Howard. Sorry, yep, problem. Everything okay, George? Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, just getting some updates from George there. We've got Dilworth, who is slowing down massively. He's dropped back down to the top. He's back, wow, he's back down to 10th place. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Has he actually accidentally come out on quality fuel? No, you never know. I don't know why he would be sacrificing points at this time unless it's a team thing. But no, the other father and son duo car. Not out on the course today, so yeah, not sure what it is that's ailed Dilworth. And yeah, Danger dropping out of the top 10 just as we're getting to the end of the stage. We've got 16 left to go for stage number 1. We're 25 laps in at the 125 lap race. Round number 9, of course, or chase stage 1. McLean, Simmons, Rankin's leading the way. Dilworth, yeah, that is a mystery why he's dropping down. He's sitting right in 10th place. I wonder if he is trying to strategise for the overall race win. Of course, the pit lane will close 2 laps before the end of stage 1. So yeah, very much a strategy call to be taken to see if any drivers are going to come in. And there's Gupta being chased. That's Warrington, and Cale, who's got behind him, Harding. Just a little bit behind. Cale's had a good run so far as well. Really likes that inside line. Oh, Cale really doesn't like that wall. Sorry, Warrington really doesn't like that wall. The back of that Toyota really does not look fit for purpose at this point, to be fair. It's a couple of times he's looked a bit sketchy on the corner. Cale, on the other hand, he has been absolutely solid, taking the white line and taking positions, and he finds himself down on the white line once again. And look at the pace difference between himself and Gupta. A very good drive by Ethan Cale so far, and Corey Crossan in the team, Brady Stanley and Sam Waddell, they're entrenched in a battle as well. And there is Dilworth, in fact, in the foreground, so you can see he really is dropping off that top 10. Confusing times. I'm just looking at the gap. Yeah, there's a second between himself and Aidan Gregory, so yeah, not exactly sure what is going on there. I do know what's going on up in the front of the field. Willie McLean has been absolutely perfect today so far. He has made his way up 18 places to get himself in the lead, and he's left Simmons and Rankin, most importantly for McLean. He's left Simmons and Rankin scrapping over second and third. We're going to see some stage points handed out very shortly indeed. And it looks like it's going to be McLean who's going to take the top spot, as Simmons going to manage to hang on to second. And in fact, is Simmons going to close up and make it a grandstand battle for the stage 1 points? I wouldn't put it past them. You can see Logan Howard and Hayden Milling getting very close as well. Dilworth is still losing time. So yeah, Dilworth, I cannot see any reason for him to be dropping so much pace, unless it's just some kind of long game plan for him to save tyres and save a bit of fuel and just bring him home the top 10. Yeah, we'll see how he gets on. There he is there. As you can see, absolutely in no man's land at the moment. No one behind him to give him any boost, and no one ahead of him either. And this is Bryce Harney that we're on with at the moment. Of course, big shout out to Sharp Apparel and Simblacks for sponsoring the series. It's great to see their logos all over these cars. I do love the different way the drivers have managed to get them onto their cars. They do look very good indeed. So yeah, big thanks to both Sharp Apparel for sponsoring the series, and of course for Simblacks as well. Quite a few of the team drivers getting involved out here. And certainly representing the teams very well indeed, and the companies. Of course, we've got, oh, now that's Harding using a bit of a wall ride. Rankin, sorry, finds himself on the wall. He is absolutely hemorrhaging pace now himself. He's touched that wall. He has been on there a bit too long, and that is him now tumbling down the order. So Rankin, I wonder if he suffered the same fate that Dilworth suffered here. Because yeah, whatever's going on, that's another driver that is suddenly losing pace, and that's Rankin now down to 6th position. That's a big drop. Ethan Keel will not be too disturbed by that. He has managed to get himself a couple of good positions here, and he's looking to break in. I'll hold on to the top 5, sorry. He's already broken in. Broken into the top 5. He's got Logan Howard ahead of him. No, my apologies. He's got Logan Howard side by side with them, and I tell you what, Howard is now going to fall by the wayside as Keel takes himself 4th place. Oh, there's a little bit of an attempt at a bump draft just on the way into turn number 1 there. Almost went very, very, very badly wrong for both of them. They do survive. Howard massively backed out with that one, so that's thrown him to the wolves in the shape of Logan Howard. And Scott Rankin actually making a move back. We can see Rankin, Guptill, Bryce Harding and left here as well, so Ethan Keel's position in 4th is certainly not guaranteed. And up at the front, Simmons and McClune are set. Oh, bless me. I tell you, I'm glad everyone should be glad I managed to get the microphone ready for that one. Terry Watkins, I'll be back in 8 minutes. Okay, Watkins. So Watkins is sat in the pits. Unfortunately, he has had an IRL matter that's come to light, so he's left the car in the pits. He's gone to attend whatever it is that was ailing him, and he'll be back out and running as soon as he can. He won't be catching up with Willie McClune, though, that is for sure. We've still got plenty of positions to be decided here in the top 10 for stage number 1. Dilworth, though, really not making any progress at all. He is the keeper of the final spot in the top 10. And he is 4 seconds down, but he's also 6 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor. So the field really has been spread out outside the top 10, not so much here inside the top 10. Of course, the 4 laps left to go before we hand out some points. It's McClune from Simmons from Millings. We've then got Howard, Kale, Guptill, Rankin and Harding. Which other order they're going to finish in. Absolutely anyone's guess at this point. As here we go. He's not going to go 3 wide. Oh yeah, look how far down on the line that Kale goes. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. Yeah, right down below the apron there. Oh, he comes right back. I'll tell you what a battle this is. 3v2. And up on the high line. Logan Howard just losing a bit of momentum there. Xavier Simmons ahead of him, not losing any at all. He's keeping in touch with McClune, and Millings is keeping in touch there as well. But this little 5-way battle for 4th place effectively. Guptill now challenges for the lead, but it's going to be Millings that's going to hold it out with this corner, or is it going to be Guptill? Guptill round the outside. Oh, a couple of the cars looking sketchy on the rear end, and certainly once again Warrington, his Toyota, he'll be choking for a new set of tyres there, but he's in the top 10. So he's on for some points. I don't see anyone coming into the pits. We've got 1 to go to end this stage. It is McClune from Simmons from Millings. Millings right on the back of Simmons. Can Simmons fend him off? You'll be hoping to at least, well, he needs to stay in at least 2nd place, if not win this, because McClune is 2nd in the Tier 1 chase standings going into this. So he is Simmons' closest competitor, and he is out in front of the field. We've got 1 lap left to go before the points are handed out, and it does look like it's going to be, there we go. Sorry, that was the last lap there. It is the competition caution that comes out, and it is McClune who has taken the top spot. So it's going to be Willie McClune taking the first stage top honours. Xavier Simmons has got himself into 2nd. Hayden Millings is in 3rd. Hayden Guptill in 4th, with Logan Howard in 5th place. We've got Bryce Harding in 6th. Scott Rankin. Oh, that was a safety car. Wow. That safety car was right in the hunt there. It really appeared. My goodness. Where we're going, we don't need no roads. Bryce Harding in 6th place. Scott Rankin 7th. Ethan Cale in 8th. And Luke Dilworth did make up a position on Hayden Warrington right at the end. So he's finished in 9th. And Warrington in 10th place. And of course, that is the stage 1 done. So, before we even get a chance to verbalise it, it's a silly season in the pit. And yeah, confirmed in. Every single car has come in. We'll see if everyone makes it into their pit box okay. Anyone? Oh, Josh Mertens is still out on track. Yeah, Josh Mertens is still out on track. He's going to get himself a lucky dog. So we'll see. Now, when did he pitted on lap 11. Wow, there we go. Everyone filing back out. Oh, one of the cars at the front there almost stalled. By the look of it, stopped and started. There's another one stopping and starting on the way out. We'll see. Nobody picking up any flags, hopefully. Yeah, no drive-thrus by the look of it. Couple of drivers though, pretty close. Pretty close. Where is Mertens? Yeah, so Mertens has been given his lap back. He's taken his lucky dog, been given a lucky dog. So that's going to settle him back into 16th position. Which, let's face it, is as good as first place when we've got this many laps still to go. McLaren, of course, though, he is going to be the happiest man on the grid by quite some margin. Started in 19th, and yeah, finishing in first means he finishes ahead of Simmons, so that makes it an interesting one. With Simmons up at the front, we'll see what Luke Dilworth can do in this phase of the race. Now, Dilworth, if I remember, he is 4th at the minute in the Tier 1 standings, behind McLaren, Rankin and Simmons. All three of them are ahead of him. Hayden Millings is 5th place. Lucky Brett not here this week. And of course, he is in 12th place. Neither is Stove in 15th, so a couple of the drivers in the top 16. Not here this week, but the ones that are certainly in the top 3, Simmons, Rankin and McLaren, featuring very heavily here today indeed. We've got someone in the pits. Is that Aidan Gregory? So Aidan Gregory has just come out of the pits, and Josh Mertens was given his lucky dog, took the lucky dog, caught up to the rest of the pack, and then came into the pits. He wants to make sure that he's got tyres to stay involved in this stage. We are 44. We are on lap number 44 of 125. This is stage number 2, and what a start this is by all concerned, especially by McLaren. He's absolutely flown it. What's known in NASCAR circles as a Lewis Hadja restart there, absolutely flying. He's already put himself 3/10 up on the rest of the field. We've got Simmons, Millings, Harding and Rankin absolutely in the hunt as well, as you would expect. There's Dilworth. Dilworth holding on to 9th place. He's got Brady Stanley just behind him, so the vast majority of drivers in the top 10, all in the top 16, the Tier 1 chase standings, pretty much as you would expect really. We'll see how Warrington gets on here as well. Now, he did come in, yeah, he came in and got himself some tyres, because the back of that Toyota, well, it didn't seem to be best friends with him a couple of points in time. No, that's much better, much better. Right, let me just check. Yeah, I'm having some microphone issues here today. Apologies if there's been a dip in my volume. Hopefully that's gotten a bit better. If not, we'll be taking another hammer to the headset. The technical tap, as any engineer will tell you, works a treat. McLaren and Harding are still up at the front of the field. We've now got a big, solid, single-file line down on that white line. I tell you what, Simmons, he is not waiting for the invitation here. He is looking to get this up into second place and start challenging McLaren, make him work for the lead that he's got. Harding trying his best to hang on, but I think Simmons is going to get this one done on the bottom line. Although, as I'm saying that, Harding finds an absolute boost of pace there out of the corner. It does manage to keep Simmons behind him, so very nicely done there by him. As Rankin is still following on. It's still Rankin that we're on board with for the moment. Get a good look at the speedo in the bottom corner as well. You see the cars in the slipstream will be well over 300 kilometers an hour. They slow down, look at that, down to 260, and then straight in the slipstream. Very nicely done by Rankin to get back on the accelerator very quickly, and you can see just how much of a benefit that's been to him as he is closing in handily on Simmons ahead of him. And again goes it down onto that bottom line. So does Simmons this time. A couple of sparks coming up from one of the cars ahead. I think we might just have a touch of the wall there. McLaren and Harding are the drivers leading the way, and Dilworth is making some progress as well. He is back up to 8th position, sorry. So Dilworth, yeah, we can see there, he is back up to 8th. Oh, and that is a yellow flag in slow motion there, folks. Oh, wow. I tell you what, that is just... Yeah, when you're a passenger, you're a passenger. And Millings there was absolutely a passenger. Oh, and his front left wheel is not rotating. As you can see that from the live pictures there. His front wheel. Absolutely no rotation whatsoever. So yeah, unsurprisingly, he's come himself, brought himself in. And he is going to need to get some damage repaired. So that is the 4th caution we've seen so far. Trying to hang on to that furiously there. Finds himself going sideways to the right, sideways to the left, and yet you can see the tilt on the car there. That front left wheel, the suspension completely collapsed. The wheel, oh, yeah. Zero rotation. That is not a great advert for the Goodyears there. No turning whatsoever. So we're going to group back in. We've got more cars have come into the pits. Xavier Simmons has come into the pits. So Simmons has been in. Luke Dilworth, Logan Howard, Ethan Cale, Sam Waddell, Stephen Tears, all coming in to the pits as well. McLaren, Harding, Rankin, Guptill, Crossan, Warrington, Mackney, and Harding, Jamie. So we've got Jamie and Bryce Harding, both driving for Sigma Sim Sports, of course. They are 2nd and 8th respectively. Very quick turnaround from the drivers that did come into the pits there. 5, 6, 7 second pit stops, so very quick turnaround. As they come back out, they're looking to take some kind of advantage into the next phase of the race. Yeah, quite a few safety cars that we've seen so far. Of course, the 1 competition, and then 3 for incidents. The first one very, very, very early in the race, but everyone is still running. Terry Leverage Watkins, I believe, is back behind the wheel of his car as well. But it's going to be Willie McLoone that leads us off for this. And yeah, we're actually now seeing more drivers getting sub 30-second laps as the cars do get that little bit lighter. We've got, that is Corey Crossan, current holder of the fastest lap, the safety car. Sorry, that tickles me a bit too much here. The safety car, it does make me giggle the way the safety car drives it. I mean, it is the ideal line. If you can nail that at full speed during the race, you're going to be very, very, very quick indeed. But it certainly doesn't come without its problems. If you are absolutely perfect getting yourself back over that white line. The safety car though, no problem whatsoever. We do still have 1 car in the pits. It's Hayden Millings. Hopefully he can make it back out, but yeah, it might be a fair bit of damage. He's been in there, or been in his pit box now for over 2.5 minutes. which would be the longest stop that we've seen so far in the race, unfortunately for him. So yeah, fair bit of damage. It looks like he is getting repaired. As you can see, more cars catching up to the back of the pack, who will be off and running again. It's going to be Willie McLoone, who will once again lead us away. He has been absolutely incredible so far today. And there is the green flag, and that is another very, very, very good start by McLoone. He's got Harding, Rankin and Hayden Guptill behind him. Hayden Warrington keeping in close contact as well. Where is Xavier Simmons? He's already on a charge. He's getting his way past Harding. I'll tell you what, there's a few cars he's got to get past here. This is not a safe phase for Guptill, for Guptill and Simmons. In fact, it was Simmons that I was looking for, because he's right in the middle of the park. There's cars around him that have pitted. There's a couple of cars that haven't pitted, so we're going to see a bit of difference potentially in the tyres under the cars. Only 9 laps worth, but I can still count on Rankin. Really did get a good start there. I was talking about McLoon's start, but Rankin, he's come absolutely flying through the field. He, of course, started the overall race in second place. Did have a temporary run in the lead. He dropped back down out of the top 3, but he's now very much in contention, and keeping McLoone very, very honest up at the front. The two of them going side by side. This is just letting the rest of the pack catch up. Warrington takes the apron very quick. You can see just how much benefit that gives you. He's rocketed himself up a few positions there as the two ahead are going side by side, which, yeah, not the best strategy at this point with anyone catching up, but both of them are going at such a pace that no one can actually get in front of the other one. Here comes a 3 wide behind them, chasing them down. I'll tell you what, that is going to be Simmons. Wright involved in this battle as well, because he is the car. In fact, that's him and Dilworth. So there we go. Dilworth in 8th place is now caught right up to the back of this. So this top 10 group really has come very closely back together. Oh, I tell you what, that is one of them up onto the wall there. That is Bryce Harding just losing momentum and losing a whole lot of positions there. Look at that. That's Simmons and Dilworth, both going past him like he's absolutely standing still after that touch of the wall. He's almost had another touch of the wall there, very much boxed in at the moment. As we continue onward here, the Apparel NASCAR Series, 57 laps in. We have got... yeah, we would prefer we didn't use language like that, Mark. I realise that emotions run high, but if we could keep the chat a nice PG, that would be very nice indeed. Thank you very much. But yeah, I understand that the emotions do run high with race drivers and their fans. So, but thank you very much for tuning in. We are here for round number 9, of course, the first round of the Chase Series, or the Chase part of the league, and it is McLoone who finds himself in a good position. He's 3rd place in Tier 1. But he's 1st place in the race at the moment, and with the results the way that are Rankin, who is 2nd in the chase standings, he is 2nd in the race, so he will be very happy with that. He qualified in 2nd as well, perennial 2nd place. Not a bad thing. I have seen drivers win championships by finishing no better than 2nd, so yeah, Rankin, all the 2s, because they very much lead to a good race win here, or a good championship win. Let's see what he can do. We're on board at the moment with Hayden Warrington. The back-end Toyota has looked a bit lively on a few occasions. Can Hayden Guptill take advantage of that? At the moment, we are 60 laps in, so we're only a couple of laps away from the halfway. Stage 1 already decided. McLoone took that, and he's very much looking to take 2 as well, if he can. This is Hayden Warrington once again, lapping in the 31.6s. So yeah, all the drivers are lapping very close times as well. Still only 2 drivers have gone sub 31 seconds. Oh, I'll tell you what there. Yeah, that was Scott Rankin, looked a bit slow. Ever so slightly, the flames flying out the side of the cars as they slow down to make us say slow down. Drop a bit of pace to get themselves down to 260 kilometres an hour, get themselves around these corners over the start-finish line, no one going below the line. This time around, I'll tell you what, that is Dilworth and Simmons looking very close. Indeed, they are side by side. So too, though, is Scott Rankin still trying to get his way past McLoone. McLoone has done so much running up at the front here. His tyres are going to be absolutely cooked. What are we on? 41 laps. So yeah, McLoone in the lead, but here is Simmons and Dilworth. Well, I'll tell you what, Howard getting himself involved in this one as well. Howard pulling past both of them, so a very nice move by him to keep himself involved with these drivers. Simmons really will need to start picking up the pace soon. Although I say that, we've got still got 60 laps to go, so plenty of time for him to catch up. And of course, plenty of time for more safety cars as well from what we've seen so far. What a Gupta almost losing his nose there. Does manage to survive with Simmons just behind him, so this is a big pressure here for Harding at the moment. He's got Gupta and Simmons just behind him. Howard closing in as well, and Dilworth now, he is going slightly backwards again. So we'll see what happens here. Gupta looking for the move on Harding. He does carry a lot more pace. Simmons is going to follow him down. Surely onto that bottom line, use that slipstream. Well, he's got a choice of slipstream ahead of him. You will see which one is the quickest, although it does look like Harding really did keep the pace. Yeah, he stayed on the high line though. Gupta throws it down on the white line. That is a much shorter path through the corner, and that is Gupta. Oh no, he's not. I'll tell you what, Harding. Gupta might have taken the shorter line, but Harding moving very quickly and carrying all that momentum around the outside, finds himself holding on to that position. Bear with me one moment, folks. Quick rehydration break. There we go, we are back and running. Apologies for the delay there. Oh, crossing dropping in the field. It is still McLoone leading the way, though. We're down watching Ethan Cale, who's had a more than interesting race so far. Currently inside the top 10. He's got Stefan Tears and Luke Dilworth. Dilworth, Tears as well, sorry, having an interesting race. He's been in and out of the pits quite a few times. He was involved in that big incident early doors. And ended up down in last place after the first safety car, after he got collected into the wall, but that hasn't stopped him. It just goes to show you what you can do with a bit of determination. He is now battling with Dilworth for 8th position, just inside the top 10. This is Willie McLoone that we are watching, and he is defending at the moment, although I think Rankin might get himself a couple of laps in the lead. The outside line certainly seems to have been the one where the drivers carry more pace, so it's quicker down on the white line, but you can certainly carry more momentum getting your running, getting your way through. Oh, sorry, following that outside line, my apologies. But all it's safe to say, but McLaren and Rankin up in the front, and I tell you what, they are trying to get themselves a bit of a breakaway. They're managing to do so as well, so the rest of the pack really will need to start catching up. We'll see if there is any more safety cars to aid them. Warrington, the back of his car once again, looking very, very, very lively indeed. Very lively indeed. He really needs to keep that in check. Again, we'll see any more yellow flags or when the drivers are going to come into the pits again. I don't believe any of the cars out there are capable of doing 80 laps around here on one tank of fuel and one set of tyres. So we may see some decisions being made under green flags as to when the drivers come into pit. I believe they've still got another few laps before that's a consideration. We shall see. We're 72 laps in. Oh, and the lead has changed hands as well. So yeah, Rankin, wow, he massively got a lead change there. And I've got Dilworth down on the inside. We're going to see some more change in here, I think, as well as Stefan Tiers tried to hold him off. Oh, Ethan Cale getting into the picture now as well. I tell you what, these two couldn't quite decide who was going to take the position. So here comes Ethan Cale. Oh, that's a big touch. The wall. He's going to go sideways. He's going to avoid everybody. My goodness me. That was very, very, very nearly another yellow flag there. But he's managed to survive, or certainly Dilworth. Dilworth has survived. So too is Ethan Cale and Sam Waddell. Managed to avoid any collection there off the wall, but that was looking very close indeed. They've managed to, they all have managed to survive and keep running. 75 laps are about to be complete. And it's going to be Scott Rankin, the first to complete them. I tell you, old Dilworth having a bit of a wobble there. Right, so last pitted on 41. And we're now on 75, so yeah, I think around about lap 80, lap 90 at the latest. If we haven't seen any safety cars, we're going to see cars coming in. I think around about 85, yeah, 85 to 90 to make sure they can run to the end, or they might need another 2 stops. Dilworth really throwing it through these corners. I tell you what, Scott Rankin is absolutely not looking back. He's really got some serious, got a serious head of steam going. Up in the front of the field there. He's now 0.8 of a second ahead of McLoone. That's the biggest gap we've seen between McLoone and anyone in the field for the entirety of the race. Certainly, unless it was McLoone leading the... but at the moment, that is Rankin, who is absolutely leading the dance. Here we see once again Guptill and Simmons. These two have had some quite some interesting races together so far this season. We'll see if they can work together to get themselves at least into lap 100 before they start to do so. Corey Crossan has dropped down the order as well massively. I think he came into pits yeah, so lap 68, so 9 laps to go. Corey Crossan came into the pits, so that is our first green flag pit stop that we've seen. It's put him a lap down and down into 16th place, but it will put him in a decent position, you would think, when everyone else comes into the pits, which might be sooner. Yeah, maybe another 7 or 8 laps. Certainly McLoone will be looking to come in the pits because Rankin is absolutely flying. There's Stefan Tiers coming into the pits. So yeah, we're starting to see the cars or the drivers slowly make their way in for some fresh tyres and a bit extra fuel. We'll see what difference this makes to the running and when Scott Rankin comes in. And Willie McLoone is hemorrhaging pace. Oh no, he's coming to the pits. He's coming to the pits, so he is hemorrhaging pace because he's coming. Oh, I tell you what, that was a lock-up of the brakes on the way in. McLoone. Oh, that was close. We won't cuss to the commentator, but that did look very, very, very close on that pit line there. Hopefully, he's not breached that and got himself a drive-through penalty. If he has, that is going to throw his strategy completely out the window, while Scott Rankin absolutely tearing away up at the front of the field. We'll see if he decides to come in to try and cut off, or if he is happy with the tyres that he's... no one else joining those drivers in the pits. Sorry, George, give me that again. Excellent stuff there. Just doing some work with the producer in the background. Apologies if you heard him clearly his throat. He didn't have his mic. Sorry there, but thank you to everyone that is tuning in. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes on the YouTube as well. Of course, we've got TrackSpotTV and NZ. And yes, that chat has been... yeah, please do feel free to jump into the chat. If we can keep the language nice and clean, though, that would be nice as well. Someone upset. Mark Millings, I believe it was. So yeah, hopefully Mark has got himself into a slightly better place. But thank you to everyone that has tuned in. It is the Sharp Apparel NASCAR series, of course, sponsored by Sim Blacks as well. We're into the chase portion of the competition, and it is Xavier Simmons who leads the way in the championship. We're on board with him at the moment. He's currently running in third place. Now, he's not been in the pits since lap 50. Himself, Dilworth and Waddell all pitting on lap 50. Corey Crossan on 68. Where has Rankin gone? Oh, of course, yeah, sorry, Rankin is still leading. Who was it that just came into the pits? Willie McLean, my goodness me, my apologies, it was Willie McLean that came into the pits. It's Scott Rankin who has stayed out in the lead, and Rankin now sees Bryce Harding go in the pits, so that's a few more drivers coming into the pits. Harding coming in, Dilworth and Simmons have stayed out, so too have Rankin. I think they're going to stay out a little bit longer if they can. Yeah, so we'll see when the rest of the drivers decide to come in. Of course, yeah, I got myself a bit confused there. Willie McLean, a long-time race leader. He is the one that's led the charge into the pits. He is behind Corey Crossan. Crossan pitted on lap 68. So Crossan is there by merit, and I tell you what, he could be in for a cheeky little spot on the podium with the rest of the cars that come in to take their pit stop. Dilworth running the high line there to let Warrington make his way through. Warrington certainly looks to have got a grip of the back of that car much better now than he did earlier on. That Toyota looked like it was hell-bent on taking him into the wall on some of these corner exits. It's certainly settled down for the moment. We have got McLean and Crossan right in the hunt here with Warrington as well. They're all catch up to Rankin and Xavier Simmons, Luke Dilworth and Sam Waddell. We've got Aidan Gregory and Brock McNey ahead of them. Jamie Harding has come into the pits. Bryce has already been in. Back out again. In fact, yeah, he pitted on lap number 83. So Bryce and Jamie slightly splitting their strategy over 4 laps. That could work out pretty well for them. McLean back up to 7th position. So really at this point it's all about whether Rankin and Simmons make their way into the pits. And I tell you, they've gone slightly longer than I did expect them to, but this does play into their hands going into the closing stages of the race. Because we still do have just shy of 40 laps to go. So that's a lot of running to be done. Where is McLean? He is now ahead of Corey Crossan, so he has flown out of the pits. He's got Brock McNey in the pits ahead of him, so he's going to be promoted up to 6th position. And from there, he will look to build on that. Rankin and Simmons up at the front though. They are the drivers to watch. It's when they come into the pits. McNey still in the pits. I'm not sure what's going on there. He seems to have been, yeah, a bit of a slow entrance. I'm not sure if he had an issue on the way in, but his way into the pit did seem to take a particularly long time. Andy's had a slightly longer pit stop there, 17 seconds, which is about 3 seconds slower than a few of the other drivers. So I wonder if he had a little bit of damage there to get repaired as well. Stephen Tears and Ethan Cale is the battle that we've got on screen at the moment. They're in 12th and 13th respectively. I do expect that to change though once we get through these latest round of pit stops. I'll tell you, Rankin and Simmons, yeah, their lap times are really starting to suffer now. 32.6 and 32.7 respectively for the race leaders, with only 35 laps left to go. I do think we're going to see them come in very, very, very soon indeed. And in fact, it might be Simmons that comes in first, but all hail Scott Rankin, because he has got the oldest tyres on the track at the moment, and he is still building that gap over Simmons. So Rankin absolutely loving life on the used tyres here. He's been on those for 50 laps now, which is not bad at all. You've got 35 laps left to go. Luke Dilworth trying to get his way closer to that podium battle. He too pitted on lap 50, so he is going to need a pit stop before the end of the race. So a lot of green flag pit stops, and a few of the drivers, I'm thinking now, we're kind of hoping that we would see another safety car. Not the case so far though. Scott Rankin continues to lead the way while catching up to... Right, okay, yep, and there is McLoone unlapping himself, so that's put him back on the lead lap, which does make it that bit more interesting when Rankin does decide to come into the pit. So at the moment, McLoone has just his last lap there, 31.8, whereas Rankin 32.7. So yeah, 1 second a lap. That is quite the pace difference that we're seeing at the moment. When does Rankin come in? Surely he needs to come in. Himself, Simmons, Dilworth, Waddell are on older tyres, and there is Scott Rankin coming into the pits. And yeah, of course, Simmons is being able to step because his tyres, sorry, are 9 laps fresher. So that is our long-time race leader, qualified second for tonight's race, Scott Rankin. Coming in to the pits. The field will absolutely fly by. Of course, 50 will be we'll see how long he's been stationary for it. On average, it's been about 15 seconds for this pit stop. So much quicker. Oh, and there's another driver coming to the pits, and that is Simmons. So Simmons has come straight into the pits. You can see Rankin tumbling down the order, and that is going to be Luke Dilworth, who is going to take temporary lead of the race. Himself, Waddell and Gregory, I believe, still need to come into the pits. Willie McLoone is certainly closing in, and Xavier Simmons is in the pit. The timer has stopped. He's missed his box. Oh no, he didn't miss his box. My apologies, he did miss his box. It just took a while to start counting. But that is Simmons stationary. That's 9, that's 10. Wow, he was only stationary for 10 seconds, but he still managed to lose time to the drivers around him. So staying out on those older tyres may have been massively detrimental by the look of it, because again, his pit stop there, much shorter, 5 seconds quicker. 5 seconds quicker in the pits than McLoone, but McLoone is still vaulted past him by absolutely light years. So I would say McLoone, our net leader of the race, he pitted on lap 78, so he should just about be able to make it to the end from what we've seen earlier. He easily did 41 laps earlier, so it shouldn't be a problem for him. Well, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be 46 laps. Might we see drivers pitting with 3 or 4 laps left to go? Certainly could be a possibility, as Sam Waddell comes in to the pits, another one of the Tier 1 drivers making his way in. Dilworth now a second ahead as Rankin absolutely leaving the field standing at the moment. And he is flying past him, and he's just put a lap up on one of the drivers. Waddell has now dropped outside the top 10 while he's in the pits. So that's Xavier Simmons promoted back in to the top 10. Luke Dilworth, our on-track race leader, with Aidan Gregory in second. Willie McClune in third place. I think it's very safe to declare that he is our net leader at the moment. That pit stop didn't work out well for Simmons or Rankin. It looks like they have both been dropped massively down the order and behind drivers that are on tyres and a fuel load as fresh as theirs are. There is Luke Dilworth coming into the pits as well. This will be his... Well, this will definitely be his final pit of the race. 26 laps left to go after this one, so he will be absolutely hard charging when he comes back out. So yeah, more movers and shakers through the field. We are into the closing stages of round 9 of the Sharp Apparel NASCAR series here at Virtual Racing Aotearoa. Sponsored as well, of course, by Sim Blacks. Again, huge thank you to the sponsors for getting this race. And see, getting behind this race series, what a series it has been, and what a battle that we've got at the moment. It's Guptill and Howard, these two definitely no strangers to being up and around the podium positions, and that's where they're looking to get to at the moment, especially with Harding in third place just ahead of him. McClune is still within sight as well. He's only a second ahead, and he is in a bit of no man's land at the... In fact, he's completely in no man's land with 3 cars chasing him down. So the 3 chasing could well find themselves closing in on that gap, and there is Aidan Gregory coming into the pits, who's the last driver to do so. So we'll see where he settles back. Yeah, so we'll see where he settles back in. Scott Rankin is going to move back up to 5th place, so still 2 down on where he started. Can confirm that Guptill, Howard and Rankin all had a near identical, in fact Howard and Scott Rankin, completely identical pit stop times, 15.07 seconds for both of them. That is how competitive it is, and here comes Bryce Harding looking to make it competitive up at the front. Willie McClune was 1.6 seconds ahead of this little group, and he is now being closed in on. I did say those 3, if they can stay close to one another, get that slipstream, get to over 300 kilometres an hour on these little straightaways, they could find themselves closing that gap, and it looks like what Harding is doing at the moment. Xavier Simmons, our Tier 1 leader, currently in 6th position and behind Scott Rankin. He pitted on lap 94, Rankin on 93. Excuse me. So we'll see what moves he can make, but this could really shake up the championship standings after only the first round of the chase. This is why we love the chase format. It completely brings everyone back together again, and suddenly Waddell, who's in 16th place in Tier 1, he starts this round only 50 points behind Simmons. Can confirm it was a much bigger gap going than that at the end of the last round, but the chase points reset everything. Now 16 drivers back in the hunt for the championship, and it's Willie McClune who is doing everything he can to stake his early claim. Oh, and I tell you what, what's going on there? That is, oh, that's one of the back markers. Just rubbing against the wall to let some of the... Oh no, that is Rankin. That was Rankin up against the wall there. Oh no, sorry, the car behind them, the orange car behind us, orange car a couple of cars back. That one should register with me who it was. It will in a second, but here comes Rankin, and he is absolutely flying. Willie McClune might as well have been standing still there, and that is Rankin retaking the lead of the race. Rankin really is a Kansas expert here, 106 laps in, so less than Less than 20 laps left to go, and that is a big battle. Yes, sorry, it was Bryce Harding. Of course it was Bryce Harding. I saw touch the wall and lose momentum a few moments ago, and that momentum loss seems to have been compounded, because here comes... who's that he's got behind him? He's got Cale behind him. He's got Howard behind him. So they are massively closing in. Simmons is leading this little group, though. He's got Guptill, Harding and Howard tucked in behind him. Oh no, I say tucked in behind. They're going to go 3 wide, as you do. Well, I tell you what, despite that little touch at the wall, Howard is really pressing Guptill there. And I tell you what, I think he's maybe going to get this one done. Is Guptill going to be able to hold it around the outside? And I think Stefan Tiers there, not too far behind either. He could find himself with a cheeky little position or two here with the way this battle is shaping up. Up at the front, Rankin absolutely flying away with it there. He is now a second in the lead, with McLoone in second place. McLoone 1.6, as we can see, ahead of Simmons, Harding, Guptill and Howard, the battle that we're watching on screen at the moment. Cale and Tiers about 7 and 10 seconds behind, so a fair bit down. And Luke Dilworth can confirm he's currently running in 11th position. So yeah, we're very much used to seeing Dilworth make his way into the top 10 and stay there, if not on to the into the top 5 and beyond. But this one, there we go, just makes his way back into the top 10 now. Not many laps left to go, so unless there is some kind of monstrous catastrophe up at the front, I think Dilworth might be out of the top 5 for this one. Well, yeah, in fact, if I was a betting man, I'd have folded money on Dilworth being outside the top 10 for this race. Not an often occurrence. It's safe to say here at VRA. Certainly isn't often occurrence to see the likes of Rankin, Simmons and Guptill up there in the podium battle. As we go on board with Guptill, he's got a very, very, very good view of what's going on ahead of him, and ahead of him is Simmons and McLoone now swapping positions. So McLoone, after doing all of the early running, he finds himself furiously fighting to hold on to second place. As Xavier Simmons trying to send it around the outside. We have seen that work so many. Oh, he's touched the wall. Oh, I tell you what, Simmons has touched the wall, and then he's almost touched McLoone. Sorry, that was McLoone that touched the wall. My apologies. The car's slightly dark. But yeah, it was McLoone that touched the wall. He lost momentum, dropped down, almost collected himself. Xavier Simmons, and here comes Harding and Guptill. So McLoone was looking absolutely solid at the start of this race. He now finds himself really struggling to hold on to third position here. Simmons absolutely sailing past, and Scott Rankin, he won last week and he's on for another win this week. And yeah, this will hold him in very good stead against Simmons, and these two are going to be absolutely neck and neck in the standings going into next week if it finishes this way. But we've still got 13 laps to see if it does finish this way, so we shall see. With yeah, 13 left to go and points on the line. It's Rankin from Simmons, from Harding, from McLoone, Guptill in 5th, Howard in 6th place, then Cale, Tiers, Dilworth and Waddell rounding out the top 10. Just fix that. Oh no, that's gone. There we go. So yeah, Rankin up at the front with this battle here. Guptill. Very nearly invited into the back seat of McLoone there. McLoone drops down to the bottom line. Harding very much in the hunt here as well. And I'll tell you what, Howard right on the back of this game. Oh, a little bit of a smoke kicked up there. A little bit of gravel on the track, a little bit of an extra dab on the brakes there to try and get the momentum stopped. That was a brave manoeuvre there. Yeah, we need to keep it running as clean as possible. Now the tyres are going to be starting to fade ever so slightly, but they're certainly going to be fresher than they were earlier points. And it's Xavier Simmons who is 1 lap removed, and Aidan Gregory as well. He pitted on lap 101, but yeah, Simmons on 94 and Rankin on 93, so he does have effectively 1 lap better tyres. Dilworth looking for the move, and in fact that is Stefan Tiers that he has just got his way past there. So that's Dilworth moving further into the top 10, but certainly nowhere near the top where we used to see him finishing. Now we'll see if there is some kind of grandstand finish with 10 laps left to go. You never know in NASCAR, folks. You absolutely never know. And it has certainly been an absolute knife-edge league so far here with the Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series, sponsored by Sim Blacks. We are into stage 1 of the chase. And it is everyone chasing Xavier Simmons, although at the moment everyone is chasing Scott Rankin. Although Rankin, wow, 1.8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Simmons in second and Harding in third. We've got Guptill, McLoone and Howard on screen at the moment. McLoone, long-time race leader. Yeah, just hemorrhaging pace towards the end of the race. And he finds himself now in an absolutely furious battle to hold on to as high as fourth. Guptill and Howard could easily get the drop on him here. They've all got about the same tyres as well. They all came in lap 78 and lap 79, these three drivers. The three drivers ahead of them all came in beyond lap 80 and lap 90. So I think the strategy there has worked out very well indeed for Rankin, Simmons and Bryce Harding. We'll see if they can continue that run while McLoone massively got his hands full here, but so does Guptill as Logan Howard takes to the apron along the start-finish straight. Is he going to manage to get himself ahead of Guptill into turn number 1? They are going to be absolutely side by side. Guptill is once again going to be on the outside line, but nope. No good this time, and it is inside for the win, and Howard gets himself ahead. Here comes Guptill though. Yep. Just follows that move straight back again, and he of course helped massively there by the McLoone system. Oh, and he's just got in front of Howard there. So yeah, these three keeping it nice and close, and that's exactly what you want to be doing at this stage of the race. We've only got 6 laps left to go, and yeah, it's anyone's finish for third place here. Who is going to take it? No, sorry, Harding has got third place. It's McLoone for fourth. Guptill and Howard are battling away for fourth position. Rankin, he is just battling with himself and these tyres up at the front now. 1.7 seconds ahead. So yeah, Kansas really doing Kansas things here for the drivers today. We'll see how the points are paid out. But yeah, Rankin, a really good race. It did look like he was losing pace early doors. He started in second, of course. Was involved in a very long battle up and around first place, but just now the battle really is only with himself. 1.8 seconds ahead with 5 laps to go. It's going to be a good round for Rankin. Simmons on damage limitation. He really needs to hold on to second place here if he can. He's got 1.3 second gap back to Harding. So very much could do so. McLoone, Guptill and Howard though. That battle for fourth place still absolutely raging on, as we can see. Guptill, he has got his front wheel alongside the back wheel of McLoone, and McLoone is going to have to hold the outside line. What can Logan Howard do here? Which one of these two is he going to take the slipstream advantage from, if he can? And across the start-finish line. Love the way the finish line is on this course as well. They did make this one with racing actually in mind. That's for Rubble. Sorry, terrible sound effects from the commentator there. The engines do it so much better, that is for sure. Not as well as Rankin does though. Let's see, Guptill now leading the way, and McLoone now battling to hold on to the position from Howard. Howard's got the outside line this time, and we've seen how beneficial that can be. You really can carry momentum. Oh, he's ended up putting it into the wall. He's gone a bit too wide here. He's ended up wall riding his way around half of that corner, and all that's going to do is lose him some of that beautiful Sim Blacks livery on the side of the car, lose him a bit of paint, and lose the position to McLoone. 123 laps done and dusted. In fact, 124. Rankin is 1 lap away from the white flag. He is 2 seconds away from Xavier Simmons. So back-to-back wins for Rankin, and he's led, as we can see there, 51 laps he's led for. after qualifying in second place. It has been an absolutely phenomenal performance for the Vortex SimSport driver. Yeah, as you can see there, confirmed, started in second and finishing in first place. He has taken the white flag while everyone around him is scrapping over the final positions. Howard and McLoone, they're still trading positions and paint, trying to get to the end, trying to get as many points as they can for the chase section of the competition. But it is going to be Scott Rankin who's going to be joining us back in the commentary box once again this week, as Willie McLoone loses a position to Logan Howard. But here he comes. Scott Rankin crosses the line and takes the checkered flag. There we go. Sorry, I was one corner too early there, getting myself a bit too excited. Hopefully Scott's managed to keep himself in the loop, but there we go. That is the checkered flag, and it's going to be Scott Rankin who takes the top spot. Xavier Simmons in second, and Harding finishing in third place. Bryce Harding finishing in first place. Willie McLoone, hard to be disappointed for him, I would say. I mean, he started down in 19th place, but he did lead the race for such huge periods that I did think he was going to be a bit of a shoe-in to bring himself home a race win here in stage one of the chase. But here is the official results from the Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series, round number 9 at Kansas Speedway, and confirmed Scott Rankin with a 2-second gap over Xavier Simmons. Bryce Harding in third place, Hayden Guptill in fourth, Logan Howard in fifth, and it was Willie McLoone, Ethan Cale, Luke Dilworth in eighth, Ian Gregory in ninth, and Sam Waddell in 10th place. Stephen Tears in 11th, with Hayden Leverage Watkins getting back to 12th place. That is commitment for you, Terry Watkins. We will be... Oh, that's that's Hayden Leverage Watkins. Terry finished further down the field, my apologies. Jamie Harding in 13th, Brock McNey in 14th, Corey Crossan in 15th place. Terry Leverage Watkins did take an 8-minute break. He did finish 21 laps down, but he did finish the race with Hayden Warrington, Alec Inslee, Hayden Millings and Brady Stanley. Unfortunately not finishing the race today. Josh Mertens, another driver, fell by the wayside, unfortunately. He finds himself down at the back and unclassified in this one. So he didn't quite make it to the end. We do have some of the drivers joining us, queuing up in the commentary box. So what we shall do is we shall pop one of them. I think what we'll do, we'll start with Xavier Simmons in second. We'll work our way up the podium this week, Mr. Race Director. And of course, we do owe Mr. Simmons a couple of extra questions because I didn't quite fully do my job last week. But Xavier, talk to us about this evening's race first of all. That was, I mean, talk about action-packed. We had green flags, we had yellow flags, we had pit stops, and we had some very, very, very taily Toyotas. But Rankin managed to get his up to the top spot. How did you feel that race went for you tonight?
Yeah, cheers guys. Yeah, Scott ran a really good race actually. Just nailed the whole race basically, and yeah, I tried to take 2 tyres in that final stop just to see if I could jump him and then stay ahead, but yeah, it wasn't enough, and yeah, got some decent stage points and finished second in the end. So yeah, no, can't complain. Roll on to next week.
Indeed, yeah, we will look ahead to next week. But Xavier, I do feel like I did you a disservice last week with everything that went on. We didn't actually fully celebrate the fact that you had won the opening stage of the competition and would be leading going into the chase, giving you that 25-point lead. So yeah, just quickly, I know this was all last week, but how did you find the first half of the season? Because I've had quite a few drivers say that the improvement they've seen, and you could talk to us this about yourself if you like, the improvement they've seen in your driving and the fact that you're right up there at the sharp end. Drivers in the league are absolutely loving seeing this improvement that you've made and bringing home the win in the first half of the season. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, no, it was a good start to the season, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I won the Xfinity League last year, so I don't know how much you can improve on winning the whole competition. But yeah, thanks to those guys that have said that I've got better again. Yeah, no, we had a really good start to the season and tailed off a little bit towards the end. So yeah, just need to kick things back into top gear now. This is when it matters.
Indeed it is, and we've got Iowa next week, 150 laps around the shorter, trickier course. How are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't done any laps there since last season, so it's probably been a whole year. So we'll soon find out. Hopefully it'll go well.
Yeah, that is the problem with these alien level driver folks. I know there is annoying to me as the R to you. I haven't raced in a year. I'll just cruise up, set the fastest lap, take pole in qualifying and win the whole race. So yeah, thanks very much, Xavier. But no, it's on a serious note,
easy.
Well, that's the problem, Xavier. You all make it look very easy, and it's massively frustrating for us lesser talented human beings that have to hide behind the microphone and cast aspersions and judge other people that are far more talented than we. So, but yeah, before we let you go and celebrate, Xavier, anyone you'd like to say thank you to, or anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, just quickly, big thanks to you guys for putting it on the stream. I have to go back and watch this one and see what I lacked. But yeah, to the Fastlane Esports boys, obviously SB Tools New Zealand, System Decal, Hartley Race Engines, 17RC, and Cyber Media.
Perfect, there we go then. Xavier Simmons, thank you very much. Second place here. I believe that it's going to be close to the top of the standings for next week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, cheers guys.
There we go, folks. Xavier Simmons joining us from second place. Joining us once again from first place. He must really love these interviews. Scott Rankin, flying at the end of the race there like the devil himself was chasing him down. Scott, that was an up and down race, it's safe to say, but you were always there or thereabouts, and obviously bringing home a solid, convincing win by 2 seconds. That went very well for you tonight, it seems.
Yeah, tricky, really tricky race, that one. We were just chatting to Xavier about what we did at that last pit stop, and he said he took 2, and he was looking to, the big thing about this place is it's all clean air, and I mean, you saw that with my battle with Willie. We had pace on him, but we just couldn't do anything with it. So it's, all about discipline, all about putting the car in the right spot, all about looking after what we got, and I think we just did a better job of it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good job, and it's a job that needed to be done, of course. You started the chase. I mean, you laid down a marker last week, winning the final round of the pre-chase competition. Coming into the chase, it's yourself and Simmons that are up at the top, and he is in first coming into this race. You're likely to be first going into second. Talk to me about how intense the battle is in this chase stage of the competition, because yeah, the top 16 are only separated by 50 points, so every single win and every single point grabbed during these races is absolutely vital going forward.
Yeah, look, I mean, that was ridiculously tricky. Had to get the win tonight. I sort of said to myself before the start of that race, you're going to win this chase. As much as it's not winning you're in, getting to that final 4 as it has been in years gone by. I apologize. I think my internet connection's actually dropping out a little bit at the moment. But yeah, it's all about making sure that you're literally you've got to be putting races on the board, race wins on the board. Anything less is honestly just not good enough. So a little bit of a bit of chatter to myself about it, about what we're doing, about how I'm doing it, and about what we needed to go and do it. I was lucky enough to have a teammate of mine sitting on the spotters stand tonight. A little bit of chatter about how I'm driving the car, where I'm placing the car, and he's constantly telling me, I can be better, I should be better. So that's huge, and a big shout out to Ethan, because he worked on me all night long, and we got the lead, and he said, "Yeah, mate, all right, she's all yours, enjoy."
Nice. Well, yeah, if you ever fancy lending Ethan out, I know a Scotsman that enjoys NASCAR racing can do with a few pointers, so if you feel like sending them my way, feel absolutely free to do so. We've got Iowa next week, Scott. Are you going to be one of these drivers that tells us you've never raced it and you're going to go on and get a race win, or are you well acquainted with Iowa so far?
I haven't done a lot of laps at Iowa this week in terms of preparation. That probably starts for me about now. I'm actually a little bit under the weather at the moment, so I've been trying to manage myself and just keep fluids and sugar up to myself over the last sort of 24 hours. I actually started that race. I honestly was sitting there going, I think I need to go, have a hurl, not make myself feel better, because I honestly legitimately felt terrible. But in terms of Iowa, I've always run reasonably well at Iowa. Like the way the track sort of sets itself up. So look, it's short track madness. Instead of what we had tonight at Kansas, it's going to be a little bit more spread out, a little bit more set up. So, you know, completing the pass, it was so difficult to complete the pass tonight. So you really got to probably play with the strategy levers you've got next week. And the biggest thing for me is making sure that we put a finish in the race. Like a top 5 at Iowa is probably a good night. Even if you've got a race-winning car, you've got to make sure you've got to put every race on the book. If you want to win playoffs, you gotta finish next week. So.
Yeah, vitally important. Well, Scott, I can confirm that George and I are in very much the same boat as you are this week, so we appreciate the effort you put in, because I realise how much effort it's been. But yeah, illness seems to be spreading through the field tonight. But before we let you go, Scott, anyone that you would like to say a shout out to or a thank you to before you go? Obviously, Ethan will be top of that list, I'd imagine.
Yeah, obviously a big shout out to Ethan Winter. He did a great job for us on the box tonight. A little bit of chatter again, working way through. I think that's one of the biggest things. You've got to have somebody who's challenging at all steps. But we had a rocket ship in the Maddington and Canning Vale Toyota Supra tonight. So a big shout out to those sponsors. Really happy to have positive chatters about them coming back on board for the cars for the next year as well, which is awesome. Pete Racing Products, Graham Electrical and Data, Ray White McLean, Claney Yama Vets, Substream Signs, SFE Loans, Tim Conti, Villian Esports, Pace Graphics, and Casey Simmons Cinematography. Most importantly, Xavier and the team who put actually the series on, and then you guys obviously commentating. I get the opportunity to take a breath and really, you know, mute up and go silent and put myself together and focus on me. You guys don't get to do that when you're under the weather. So to the pair of you guys for commentating while sick, it's a great job. Well done, guys.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, Scott. The adrenaline more than keeps us going, I can assure you. But huge congratulations. Another race win here in the VRA NASCAR Apparel Series, and we very much looking forward to seeing what you do at Iowa next week, my man.
Yeah, and as usual, our final little bit. Yeehaw, boys! Yeehaw!
Oh my goodness, that's a wonder the weather I am. Forgot the yeehaw. My apologies, Scott. I will get that. I will get that for next time. I totally forgot about that because of all the medication I've had this morning. But yeah, yeehaw! Oh, that hurt the forehead. But there we go. Yeehaw for Scott. Congratulations again, mate, and we'll see you next week, no doubt. There we go. Yeah, I think Scott's internet has completely fudged its huggies there, but he will be off to celebrate a race win. And what a race this has been. Virtual Racing Aotearoa. What a... sorry, George? Oh. Yes, of course, another phenomenal race here and another round to start off the chase ranking with back-to-back wins here at the Virtual Racing Aotearoa Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series. So huge thanks to them, and of course Sim Blacks for sponsoring the series. Without the sponsors, none of this could happen, or the league organisers, so huge thank you to them. Massive thank you to everyone that's tuning in on YouTube as well. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes and all the chats. It's been a busy race. We couldn't get to all of them this week, but thank you to everyone that is continuing to follow this series. We hope you enjoy. We know you are enjoying it as much as we are, and we will be back next week for Iowa. Another shorter, well, a shorter track than this one, that is for sure. And we're going to see some serious action, 150 laps. Until then, folks, we'll see you same time, same place next week. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.